What it is, people, Dovatox here. I'm playing Titanfall 2 today. I fucking suck at it, so please excuse my skill level. I would use Destiny footage, but I don't have any, and I feel raw gameplay would be better than a bunch of trailers stitched together, or just no footage at all. Anyways, today I'm going to talk about an issue that has been around since the beginning of Destiny 1. It looks like it's just going to get worse in Destiny 2. It's Bungie's blatant disregard for PvE when they are balancing guns in PvP. In Destiny 1, Bungie implemented many patches in order to fix PvP so it would be more balanced and promote varying gun usage. Of course, Bungie couldn't always get it right and would continually have to patch the previous patches because it screwed up gun balance. In other words, Bungie was not all that good at making a balanced PvP. Some people might like this system because it keeps PvP fresh and interesting, but I digress. Anyways, as Bungie implemented patches designed to fix PvP, they also put those patches into effect in PvE, which makes no goddamn sense because they play totally different. It'd be like a plumber going to a house because the sink pours out poisonous water. To fix it, the plumber shuts off all water to the house, meaning now all the sinks and showers don't work. I mean, do you really fix something if you break something else in the process? I don't know. Bungie clearly doesn't fucking know either. Another issue I have is that Bungie almost never patched PvE in Destiny 1, even when it desperately needed it. Remember how broken Yellowhorn, Black Spindle, and Icebreaker were? If you didn't have those three guns, you were totally fucked when it came to doing boss TPS for raids and nightfalls and, just killing random ads. And I don't even think they patched them. They just waited for them to become obsolete in the Taken King. In that time, they probably released at least 25 patches for PvP, assuming they released a patch twice a month, which is being pretty generous. In that time, they had nerfed many guns into the ground, making them unplayable for both PvP and PvE. This included things like the Vex Mythoclast, Service Regime, Bad Juju, and probably more guns, but it's fucking 2 years ago, I can't remember. The point is, Bungie would heavily nerf guns in PvE just because they were overpowered in PvP, making them unplayable in both game modes, even though PvP was a side game mode. They didn't advertise Destiny as a PvP shooter, they advertised it as a shared world looter shooter, implying that it was more PvE focused like Borderlands. That would be like in Call of Duty nerfing a gun in multiplayer because it was too overpowered in zombies. Yeah, I'm a COD normie, but you get my point. Bungie's method of balancing things in PvP is counterintuitive and downright breaks PvE. Finally, I need to talk about the new gun system that Bungie is implementing into Destiny 2. If you haven't heard, they're basically putting all of the special weapons, except sidearms, in the new power slot, which was the heavy slot. I find this very weird because we now have more power guns than fucking primary guns. There are 4 primary guns in Destiny 2 that we, know of. Auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, and scout rifles. They then add a new gun to spice it up with... It really shows how lazy Bungie is. There are 5 power weapons: rocket launchers, grenade launchers, snipers, shotguns, and fusion rifles. I didn't add those stupid ass linear fusion rifles because I don't think they are really going to play out that much different than OG fusion rifles. And it's like the same thing as SMGs, which are just reskins of fast firing, low impact auto rifles. Now, Bungie, why the hell would you have more power weapons than primary weapons? You're going to use primary weapons 90% of the time. Not to mention your secondaries are also just elemental primaries. So wouldn't it be logical to invest the most into the guns you use the most, like adding a few more gun types into the primaries? This would be like Google doing a massive overhaul for fucking Google Docs while not fixing YouTube. Like, I know it's not the best analogy, but you get the point. Making all of the good weapons power weapons is going to drastically lower our DPS and PvE because we're going to be using the goddamn primaries for 90% of the time, including in the freaking secondaries, instead of actually using good secondaries like in Destiny 1. Now, this would probably not piss me off all that much if it weren't for the fact that Bungie implemented such a broken fix for PvP, all at the expense of PvE. Now, I know a lot of people play PvP on Destiny, I really do, but it is a side game mode. Bungie should not ruin PvE for the sake of a side game mode, and it wouldn't even be that hard to fix it. They just have to make the balances for PvE different from PvP. Like, is it really that hard? Putting all the high damage special weapons in the power slot means less damage overall and less customization because you have all the good weapons in one slot. And not only that, it's not even a good fix for PvP in my opinion. Putting all the one-shot weapons in one category is going to lead to a slower TTK in PvP and a more boring PvP because you're going to be using the same weapons in both primary and secondary slots for 90% of the game. As I said, They just gave primaries elemental effects and stuck them in the secondary slot and called it a day, which is a really fucking stupid way to fix the gun system. Putting all the high damage weapons in one slot means that if just one of the guns out of all 5 weapon types in the power slot is overpowered, it's going to basically negate the need for the rest of the weapons being used, especially in PvE, leading to a more undiverse weapon loadouts that you can use. At least in Destiny 1, we could use an overpowered sniper and rocket launcher. Bungie, you fucked up big time. I really hope this doesn't totally break this game. Now, is this really gonna break Destiny 2? Probably not, but is it really fucking annoying? Hell yeah. Now, that's basically all of the video, and I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you want, or don't. I just really want to, just get these ideas out there so that I can inform people that, like, why would Bungie do this? I don't know. Well, anyways, that's another video. This is Dova Talks, signing out.